Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're delving into a pivotal moment in history, the Muslim takeover of Persia. We'll explore how this transformation occurred and how it has shaped Persian society and culture up to this day. Stay tuned. What happens when an empire's fate changes forever? Today, we explore the profound transformation of Persia through the rise of Islam and its lasting impacts. Before the rise of Islam, Persia was a land of great cultural and religious diversity dominated by the Sasanian Empire. Zoroastrianism was the primary religion, and the empire boasted rich cultural achievements. Persia was a land of grandeur and sophistication. The Sasanian Empire, a beacon of culture and power, stretched across vast territories. Zoroastrianism, the state religion, shaped the spiritual and moral fabric of society. The empire was structured with a rigid social hierarchy, from the nobility to the common folk. From the fertile valleys of Mesopotamia to the towering mountains of the east, the Sasanian Empire held sway. For centuries, it had stood as a bulwark against Roman might. Its cities, like Ctesiphon with its magnificent arch, were marvels of engineering and artistry. Persian culture flourished. Silk, spices and knowledge flowed along its trade routes. Scholars debated in grand academies. Artists adorned palaces with intricate mosaics. The Sasanian army, clad in mail and armed with steel, was a force to be reckoned with. Their heavily armoured cavalry struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. This was Persia at its zenith, confident, wealthy, and seemingly invincible. Meanwhile, in the 7th century, a new force was rising from the Arabian deserts. Far to the south, a new power was awakening in the Arabian Peninsula, a land of endless sands and scorching sun. The followers of Islam, driven by faith, began their rapid expansion beyond the Arabian Peninsula. Their objective was clear: to spread the word of Allah and reshape the world. This is the story of their epic clash, a clash that would decide the fate of Persia and echo throughout history. And explore how this conquest reshaped Persian culture, politics and society for centuries. This was a time of great change, a time when the world would witness the rise of a force that would shape history for centuries to come. The Prophet Muhammad had preached a message of monotheism and submission to the will of Allah. His teachings resonate deeply with the people. His followers, the Muslims, united under the banner of Islam. They found strength in their faith, a faith that transcended tribal divisions and brought them together as one community. Driven by faith and a desire to spread their message, they embarked on a wave of conquests. These were not just land battles, but for the hearts and minds of people. The Rashidun Caliphate, the first Islamic empire, emerged from the deserts. It was a beacon of hope and a symbol of the new order that was taking shape. Its armies, though smaller than those of Persia, were highly motivated. They were driven by a sense of divine mission, believing that they were chosen to spread the word of Allah. Their leaders, such as Khalid ibn al-Walid and the Sword of Allah, were brilliant tacticians. Khalid's strategies and battlefield prowess became legendary, earning him a place in history as one of the greatest military minds. The desert wind that carried the call to prayer also carried the seeds of an empire. This wind, relentless and unyielding, symbolized the unstoppable force of the Islamic expansion, a force that would leave an indelible mark on the world. The two empires collided on the plains of Al-Qadisiyah in 636 AD. This battle was not just a clash of armies, but a confrontation of two mighty civilizations, each with its rich history and culture. The Persian army, vast and imposing, met the comparatively smaller but highly motivated Muslim force. The Persians, with their heavily armoured and disciplined infantry, were confident in their numerical superiority. The Muslims, however, were driven by a fervent belief in their cause and a desire to spread their faith. For days the battle raged. The initial skirmishes gave way to full-scale engagements, with neither side willing to give an inch. The air filled with the clash of steel, the cries of men and the thunder of hooves. The sounds of battle were deafening, a cacophony of war that echoed across the desert plains. The relentless sun beat down on the warriors, adding to the harshness of the conflict. Arrows darkened the sky, launched by archers from both sides in a deadly rain that sought to break the enemy's resolve. The desert sands turned crimson with the blood of thousands. The once golden dunes were now a grim testament to the ferocity of the battle. Bodies lay strewn across the battlefield, a stark reminder of the high cost of war. Finally, after a fierce struggle, the Persian lines broke. The relentless pressure from the Muslim forces proved too much for the Persians to withstand. Their formations crumbled, and what was once a disciplined army turned into a disorganized retreat. Their commander, Rostam Farrokhzad, fell in battle. His death was a significant blow to the Persian morale, signaling the end of their resistance. Rostam's fall marked the turning point of the battle, sealing the fate of the Persian army. It was a victory that would change the course of history. The triumph at Al-Qadisiyah opened the door for the Muslim expansion into Persian territories, altering the political and cultural landscape of the region for centuries to come. The gates to the heart of the Persian Empire lay open. With the fall of Al-Qadisiyah, the path to the Persian heartland was clear, paving the way for the eventual conquest of the Sasanian Empire and the spread of Islamic influence far beyond the Arabian Peninsula. Flushed with victory, the Muslim armies advanced on Ctesiphon, the jewel of the Sasanian Empire. The city, with its towering walls and magnificent palaces, seemed impregnable. However, the Persian army was demoralized after Al-Qadisiyah. The siege began. Weeks turned into months. The defenders fought bravely, but the Muslims, utilizing siege towers and catapults, slowly gained the upper hand. Finally, the inevitable happened. Ctesiphon, the symbol of Persian might, fell to the invaders. Its palaces were plundered, its treasures carried away. The once mighty Sasanian Empire was crumbling. Despite the fall of Ctesiphon, the Persians continued to resist. They regrouped and prepared for a final stand. Persian soldiers, clad in their traditional armor, readied themselves for what they knew could be their last battle. The Battle of Nahavand, fought in 642 AD, would decide the fate of Persia once and for all. This confrontation was not just a clash of armies, but a struggle for the very soul of a civilization. The Persians, led by Yazdegerd III, their last emperor, fought with the courage of desperation. They knew that defeat meant the end of their empire. The vast lands of Persia, rich in culture and history, hung in the balance. But the Muslims, under the command of the skilled general Numan ibn Mukharin, were relentless. The battle raged for days. Both sides suffered heavy casualties. The ground was littered with the fallen, each side paying a heavy price for their cause. In the end, it was the Muslims who emerged victorious. Their triumph was the point in the history of the region. Yazdegerd III fled into hiding. Who could believe that the great Persia, once resounding through history as a symbol of the mightiest civilizations, has now fallen from its former glory? With the fall of the Sasanian Empire, the map of the world was redrawn. Persia, once a mighty empire, became a province of the rapidly expanding Islamic Caliphate. But the story does not end there. The Islamic Caliphate absorbed the territories of the once great Sasanian Empire, and a series of administrative changes were implemented to integrate Persia into the new Islamic order. The existing provincial structures were maintained but were now overseen by Muslim governors known as walis. These governors were tasked with ensuring the collection of taxes and the enforcement of Islamic laws. The introduction of Islamic laws brought significant changes to Persian society. Economically, the new Islamic administrative practices altered trade and taxation. Socially, the traditional Zoroastrian hierarchy was dismantled and Islamic laws began to reshape Persian society. The Sharia or Islamic legal system was imposed, which altered the judicial landscape. Persian legal traditions were gradually supplanted by Islamic jurisprudence, leading to a unified legal framework across the caliphate. With the rise of Islam, there was a noticeable decline in the prominence of Zoroastrianism and other local religions. The new rulers actively promoted the spread of Islam, leading to the gradual conversion of many Persians to the new faith over time. Despite these changes, Persian culture demonstrated remarkable resilience. The Persian language evolved, adopting new vocabulary and expressions from Arabic while retaining its distinct identity. Persian literature, art and science continued to thrive, blending elements of both Persian and Islamic heritage. This period of transition and integration laid the foundation for a cultural combination that would influence the Islamic world for centuries to come. I believe many people underestimate the profound cultural losses that occurred during the Muslim conquest of Persia. This event reshaped the political and cultural landscape of the Middle East, marking the end of one empire and the rise of another. It led to the decline of pre-Islamic cultural and religious practices, impacting Persian art, literature and architecture. Today, these historical changes are viewed with mixed emotions in Iran and other parts of the region, where ongoing cultural and religious tensions still influence modern politics and society. The Arab takeover of Persia led to profound changes in the cultural and religious landscape. Pre-Islamic traditions, including Zoroastrianism, faced suppression, and many aspects of Persian art, literature and architecture were irrevocably altered. The intricate designs and rich symbolism of the Sasanian era gave way to new forms influenced by Islam. Persian scholars, poets and artists played a crucial role in the Islamic age. In modern times, these historical changes are viewed through a complex lens in Iran and other parts of the region. The loss of pre-Islamic heritage is a source of cultural and emotional tension, influencing ongoing debates about national identity and religious freedom. Historical grievances from this era continue to echo in the political and social fabric of the region, shaping contemporary narratives and conflicts. Understanding these layers of history helps us appreciate the depth of cultural transformation and the enduring legacy of this pivotal period. To delve deeper, explore our recommended readings and documentaries. As we've seen, the Muslim takeover of Persia was more than just a military conquest. It was a profound cultural shift that continues to influence Persian life today. What are your thoughts on the impact of such historical events? Let us know in the comments below. This is just a brief glimpse into a complex and fascinating period of history. To truly understand the impact of this event, one must delve deeper into the primary sources, the scholarly debates, and the archaeological evidence. Explore the tales of heroism and tragedy from both sides of the conflict. Discover the lasting legacy of this clash of civilizations in the art, architecture, and literature that continues to inspire us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our related videos for more fascinating historical journeys.